Alkaline Trio, Good Morning. So earlier when I was telling you I was at Circus City and I was buying that Thursday record, the other
Mhm.
record I was talking about was Good Morning. I also found that, and it was like the album artwork had that glossy part on it, and it caught my
Mhm.
attention. And I was like, "Oh, that's cool. What is this?" And I was like, "Oh, these guys look like they listen to the Misfits." And then I like looked on the back, and I was like, "So do the song titles." And I was like, "Cool, I'll just buy it. It's on Vagrant Records." And I bought it, and I remember putting it in, and I didn't get it. I was like, "Ugh." I was like,
Mhm.
"What is this?" And I was like, "Nah, I'm good." And I just put it aside. I didn't listen to it again for like 4 years, dude. I gave it one chance and was like, "Nah, I'm out."
Oh, wow.
Yeah, but it's like one of my all-time favorite records.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to. You know what happened? The girl
What's
that
that?
I was with when I worked at Circuit City, she had to dump me before I got into Alkaline Trio.
Of of this album, I have a very similar story that I'll tell it for Alkaline Trio. Okay, so, I mentioned it last week that there was, like, the girl that got me into the Distillers, like so,
Yeah,
there's, like, the cycle, right? It's almost like you're a couple generations. So she gets me to punk rock, like, properly, and then, I get one of my friends into punk rock, but he kinda leaned a little more into, like, the emo side of things, like, that clearly he was more attracted to that. So we both, though, got the Warped Tour 2002 DVD, watched it together in his bedroom, and we just loved this radio song. We thought that was the coolest thing, like, shaking like a dog shit in razor blades. Who says that? That's funny, and we're, like, 14, like, this is cool. So fast forward, he gets Good Morning first, and he's like, "This is awesome. This is the greatest thing I ever heard, this and that." I don't get it. I just take his word for it. I start getting their older stuff, which is a little more of what I was into.
yeah.
And then that girl, me and her, not only did we break up, she gets together with that dude. Like
Oh no,
that's how
what a
that
bitch.
that's how that whole thing with that. Remember I told you last week with the whole "we trusted you" scenario. That's how I related to that. Well, right at the same time, I bought the album Good Morning, and I was so like, it sounds so silly now, like 30 years later, 15 years later, but I was so sour. And when I heard that, the first, injecting the poison of alcohol IV, I was just pissed off kid. I didn't really listen to emo in that kind of way back then, and how that was kind of categorized. So that was the first time that kind of thing on that level really kind of appealed to me before I got peeled back the layers of the songs. And even to this day, I don't know how well it'll come out. Fairly recently, I have there's the Misfits tattoo, but somewhere in there's a blue in the face right there. That
That's
coffin. It
awesome,
says your
dude.
coffin or mine right there from blue in the face, of course.
I'm literally getting that coffin on the back of my head soon.
Nice.
That's how much I
The
love this band.
is it the Jared Gaines flash, or did you design it?
No, I'm getting the Alkaline Trio coffin. I said that coffin. I just meant like
Oh, okay, yeah,
I'm getting their coffin with the
their
it's the
coffin
they have the
with the
one with like the coffin with the little logo, the heart
mm.
logo,
that
and
that one's on the list eventually to maybe get like on the
yeah,
forearm,
I'm gonna get that one in
so
the
to
back of
speak.
my dome because it's
Mhm.
important enough that I want it to be visible. But like, it's funny too because when I didn't understand this album, they also have a spot where they change styles.
Is this it? Do you
It's
think
this
this is
it.
it? Yeah,
It's
right.
this. And when I first heard this, I didn't really get it. I went back, listened to their earlier stuff, and I liked it better. Now I'm the exact opposite. I like their current, modern, new stuff. Whatever they put out, I'm buying it. I love it. My favorite album is probably Remains. Like, I love this
I
band.
love Remains. Yeah.
Dude, that album is freaking fantastic. From Here to the Infirmary is another one that I got that I dig. Crimson's really good. This Addiction, like people like, oh no, only stuff from Good Morning and Prior. I'm like, dude, you're missing out on like 70 good songs, dude. Like, what are you
Hmm.
talking about, man?
Come on,
There's
calling all
such a
skeletons. Like, give me a
bro.
break. Yeah.
I took my wife to see these guys and she loved it, man. I love my wife so much, man. I'm so happy that she likes to go check this stuff out with me, man. I'm really lucky, man, that I found a lady that really like is cool with just enjoying stuff like my things, like punk stuff.
Hmm.
She listened to country music when we met. Like she didn't know anything about this stuff. She didn't care.
Hmm.
Now she like likes music, and things like random less than Jake Koozie. Anyways, bro, what's going on with me tonight? Anyways, yeah, I don't even know that I have a favorite song on this record. I think the record is like a solid 8.5. It's like a really, really, really good record, but I think the album after it even gets better. I think that they just kept getting better and better and better and better, and they just figured out like, oh, this is what we're supposed to do, like this dark punk, this
Hmm.
like Chicago. Have you heard the Falcon or the Lawrence Arms? I'm sure you heard Lawrence Arms, right?
Lawrence Arms. Yeah.
Have you heard the Falcon?
I
The
don't think
Falcon
so.
is, dude, the Falcon will blow your mind. It is Dan from Alkaline Trio and Brendan Kelly, dude. Are you freaking kidding me?
Yeah.
That dude, when I heard that, that is one that I heard from note A from the very
Mm.
beginning. I was like, oh yes, this right here. It's like you can listen to if I give you like my top 50 records, you could listen to them and go, oh, I know what he likes. Rock and roll based punk rock. Not like
Mm.
it's rock, like it's got a specific feel. Street punk's cool, I like it, dude, but like rock and roll, man, like my shit needs to be like rocking, dude. Like I need some
Like
shit that makes you feel awesome. Like I don't
music that could also be categorized as rock music if the word punk didn't exist, right? Like
correct.
that,
Yeah.
yeah.
Stuff where you know that they listen to Credence and you're like, nah, these
Mhm.
guys they love Motorhead. They like jean jackets. Like these dudes like to smoke cigarettes and these dudes are cool.
Like Alkaline Tree, you're like, okay, and they like the Cure and the Misfits and the
Yeah,
Damned
I
and
hate the
all
Cure
of
so
that
much.
stuff. Well, then you could
I
process it through Alkaline Trio, right? Like
yeah,
the best parts of it are right there.
that's true. I like oh god. Post punk stuff is like
Mhm. Yeah,
I
I'm with you
hate.
there.
I'm so glad. Oh,
Yeah.
bro. I was getting kind of worried for a second. I was like, man, speak up, dude. Do you hate this stuff or not?
No,
I hate
no,
it so
I
much.
really don't. So it's funny because I have a pretty I like a lot of different kinds of music and I like a lot of different types of punk. At least I think I do. But then when people start throwing different stuff out of there, I'm like, well, not really, not really. And my tastes are more narrow than I like to think that they are, even though I think I like an eclectic mix of stuff. But it's just kind of
Bro, the Smiths,
the
the
way it
Cure,
goes.
all can just no, I hate it.
Mhm.
Oh,
Yeah,
dude, I
Morrissey
hate
and
it.
all that. Yeah.
Oh, ugh. Just the worst, man. Like, bro, if you're gonna cry, at least be tough about it. I gotta be like oh man, dude. Like, I don't mind crying, bro. I got hopeless romantic tattooed on my knuckles. But like, yeah, I just want to shout out Alkaline Trio for being rad and being like making it okay for dudes to sing sad songs to girls and still be rad.
Mhm.
Like, that's the only way I can put
Well,
it. Like, you're still
so
rad and you sing sad songs. I like it.
I wish I could credit whoever this is, but back in the day on their website, somebody just they used to allow like guest columns on their website that fans would just write like these big old long screeds. And one person said like there's appreciation for Alkaline Trio that they were Blink 182 for the cool kids. And I was like, that is
Yes.
such a perfect way to
Fast forward
so
like 50 years.
yeah, so like yeah, and then how that all ended up is but if you even go back even deeper on that, the 2003 record that Blink put out that year, Tom DeLonge has specifically said he heard Good Morning and was like, damn it, we have to step our game up. Like that's the he looked at that as like the water level
Mm,
to get. Now I don't like
really?
Blink's like emo turn. I did not like that in 2003. So maybe that wasn't the best of deals, and who knows how much it was actually inspired by Alkaline Trio. But the point is, like, I think people don't realize how people looked at like Skiba coming in as like he is just this like no name. Like, no, dude, he's a
Bro,
legendary figure. He's just not as famous as and he has a level of fame for sure, and like
I would
groupies, the whole
so
deal.
prefer if he just stayed in the band. As a matter of fact, re-record all your albums with him instead of other dude, and I would be so on board with that.
Oh, I see. No, I think that Tom's voice fits the Tom. Like I just don't think Skiba could do that. I don't think that's his. I think they would have been a different type of band.
No, no, I like the way it happened, but now that those exist already,
Oh, okay,
have
I see
him
what you're
go
saying.
back and just
Yeah,
re-record them, and I'll be
yeah.
like, yeah,
um, no, and it's funny. I'm thinking about Good Morning. So I always kind of underrate it, even though I literally have a song of their tattooed on my body because I love the Asian Man stuff. I love the Vagrant stuff. I love Remains. But I got to Good Morning probably not first, but it was when it clicked for me with Alkaline Trio, and I would still say I would put those albums above there. But if I'm listing my top 50 albums, those five are all going to be on there. But my point to all that was when I go back to it though, and I'm like, okay, yes, it is one out. Like if I were to just put a rating on every song, it probably gets the highest composite rated because again, there's not a bad song because even on some of those on like Good Morning, there's a couple of songs that just the band just didn't have it yet.
you
Like they were
mean
they were getting
you
there.
mean
Oh no, Good
Murder
Morning. God
Infirmary?
damn it. God
Oh,
damn it. I was thinking of
oh
God
yeah,
damn it.
yeah. No, dude,
Like the debut.
their first two albums that had a couple of swings and misses.
Yeah, and I love the early compilation that's like the cassette tape, that has a lot of the B-sides and stuff that would go on later albums. I love all of that stuff. But as far as like density of just high quality songs, I think Good Morning is probably I haven't listened to Crimson as much, and I sometimes just
So good.
categorize Crimson with Good Morning, so I don't give it its credit
Crimson
as
is
a standalone
so
album.
oh shit, dude. I don't know, man. Crimson might be my favorite.
And
It's
and
either that
and,
or Remains, dude.
and I
Crimson
think
is so
that's
good.
that's the case. And then it's funny, like when they did the past lives thing, everyone said the way they did where they did like they did my shame is true and God damn it the same night. So they kind of went inverse. The night that it lined up with Good Morning and Crimson, which it was the most the most enthusiasm, the highest attended night. Just that was clearly the whatever their prime was. Like I don't think they were necessarily bad after that, but I think that era was their prime. Like you could be past your prime and still be at a high level. Like I
Well,
thought
yeah, look what Rancid just did.
right. I thought is this thing cursed? I was like when I heard that I was like, oh shit, they're still going because I kind of thought maybe they would recede into the background, right? Because Matt was in Blink, Dan does all his acoustic stuff, Derek plays like 15 other bands. I thought maybe the Alkaline Trio thing has run its course, and then just all of a sudden, like on a Friday, they just dropped that album out of nowhere, and I was like, this is just Alkaline Trio. Like it's not even like this is their new stuff. Like it's just Alkaline Trio.
And which album are you talking about?
The Is This Thing Cursed?
That's what I thought. Okay, I just want to make sure I knew what you were. I just wanted to make sure I was on the same.
I don't really like My Shame Is True, but I don't hate it the way a lot of Alkaline Trio fans do. It's just one of those that I listen to it. It's all right. I can understand some of it, but I never really went back to it.
I just got that album, so I haven't even really listened to it much. I don't know how I missed it, but I just missed it.
Yeah, it to me it reeks of like one of like either the band wasn't talking to each other at the time, or it feels very kind of, I don't know if self-indulgent is the word. It just for me it didn't.
Oh wait a minute, I've heard this record a few times.
Yeah, you're gonna have a record that's not, that maybe doesn't feel up to.
I felt like it came out and they were like, I feel like they were feeling themselves a little too much with that record.
Yeah, that's what I mean with the self-indulgence. Exactly.
Oh, okay, yeah, I heard you say that, and it didn't compute. That's what you meant. Yeah, I feel like this is
like it needs a producer to sort of edit it down a little bit or something.
Yeah, it's too long, and it wasn't. They didn't have any of the fucking like fast songs like that they used to have. I don't know, but yeah, they kind of like went back to it after that one a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah, and I hope they're around forever. Like I that's a band too that I love that does their side projects, because if they're always going to come back to trio, because they don't even live in the same cities or anything, so I think like they do enough trioing together and they're still like super successful. Like look at the tours that they're on. They're not on tour. They will tour with like Bad Religion, but they're on like they get invited to tours of bands that we don't know, you and I wouldn't associate with like our types of music. But I think
they did like a Weezer Green Day thing, didn't they?
I know they toured with Weezer. I don't remember a Weezer Green Day. They toured with like Taking Back Sunday a couple of years ago. They
that
toured
doesn't
with
surprise me. That fits.
No, it fits, but think how many like how many Mohawk dudes? There's probably more Mohawk dudes at that Taking Back Sunday show than there ever is at any other one.
Where I'm at, Alkaline Trio is far closer to Taking Back Sunday than they are Mohawks. With the people that I hang out with, yeah, dude, Mohawk guys do not listen to Alkaline Trio.
Okay, like, but wouldn't you say though? I see what you're saying, but like for what we're talking about, if we're just talking about like that middle zone.
Well, like see, my point is that I don't know, because I'm only basing it on my experiences, and my experiences is that no, that wouldn't be the case at all. Like they fit more with somebody like Taking Back Sunday than they would Rancid.
No, okay, but I feel like if you're gonna list bands like, oh, I like Rancid, NoFX, Alkaline Trio, and Taking Back Sunday. Taking Back Sunday would be the one you would discard from that.
Whereas I disagree. I put that. I split that in half. It's like Alkaline Trio, Taking Back Sunday, Rancid, NoFX. Alkaline Trio is so far removed from what I think of as like NoFX and Rancid. Like it's very different music to me. I don't think it's any. I consider that way closer to like emo.
Like the emo. See, and to me, I considered them as a punk band that did emo, so to speak. I don't receive them as,
and it might be because of when I discovered them. I don't know.
Well, and it might be just based on personal friendships too. The fact that like him and Fat Mike are best friends may also just play into that too. So they tend to pal around together, or like he's they're really tight with the Bad Religion guys. Yeah, Skiba was like the best man at his wedding. For
no idea.
Yeah, they are super super tight.
That's cool, man. Good shit.
It's funny that Alkaline Trio's never been on Fat, but
it's weird. I have like split albums that I never really understood how they came about, like the Alkaline Trio One Man Army, and like the Alkaline Trio Hot Water Music. Like, how did those even come about?
Well, those guys were always pretty friendly with each other. I don't know about One Man Army, but I know Hot Water Music and Alkaline Trio.
One Man Army is they were definitely, yeah. But it's just like sonically, it just sounds so strange to me.
I love that. I love the Alkaline Trio. I like the One Man Army portion of that too. And I know you're a big One Man Army guy.
Oh, I love that band.
That's what I don't have the CD anymore, but I found the booklet to that like a couple of days ago.
Oh, nice.
They did the song. Was it Sadie? I think it was about like the Manson murders or something like that.
That's a good song.
And I could listen to that, or even the Dan song on that one. I forget. It was something like. It was ridiculous. I don't remember what it was, but if you're watching this before next Tuesday, whatever date that is, if you want to spend 2 hours talking about Good Morning, join me on my stream on Tuesday because we're gonna just go all things Good Morning.
Oh, really? Let's go.
We may react to this video if we have time of you and I talking about Good Morning.
I in my I guess research you'll call it about going back and finding these bands for this stuff. I found out that next year we're gonna have an awful lot of cool conversations too. Because there's a shitload of stuff from 1994 and 2004.
94 is the biggest year, probably punk history, and then as far as mainstream goes, and then 04, that's just, even if it's not good, I feel like I know everything about that year because again, I was 17 that year, getting a little bit older, doing more of my own things, seeking out my own stuff, and punk rock as a whole. That's the American Idiot year, so people were just kind of into punk rock, like as a broader sense. Then
I was hoping we can also we're going to do 93, I think, because this is going to be a pretty short video. There's a lot less, well, not short necessarily, but there's a lot less albums to pick through for 93. 93 was not, they were prepping for 94, man. 93 is not 94. 94
it's a lot of, it's a lot of the older bands in 93 that released like albums. Yeah.
But we got to talk about 98, dude. We got to do some 25-year stuff because, dude, 98 has some bangers, bro. So we can do that at another day too. Let's go ahead and move on from Alkaline Trio to, I guess this is your last album.
So another one I think you and I share is Blackout by the Dropkick Murphys.